Well, I guess the time has come to pump your bags to the places we've all been waiting for a very long time. Now, my friends, if you have been subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community for the last few years and weeks, then you would know that we have been sharing with you exactly what is about to unfold. We have been preparing you for the next catalyst into this bull cycle, and I believe we received that catalyst yesterday. Now, with regards to my video over here, you can see that I'm talking about meme season. Part of this video today will be a continuation of that. And just know that yes, I am all in now, right on the Fed. So I don't know about you, but hey, my friends, I am ready to have so much fun in this crypto space. And if you are too, then make sure you're subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community, and let's get smashing the like button on this video and let's move on. So starting off with where we at on the altcoin season chart, if you saw my video yesterday and the day before, you would see that we're down at 51 and 47. So we're now up 10 points from that and getting ready to break out of this cup and handle pattern. Would you agree with me? If you do, let me know down in the comments below. And finally, we're getting the signal that we're coming into altcoin season, right? So this is a really good time to position yourself in altcoins. All right, today I'm going to show you how the rotation of the capital will work, and then I'm going to touch base on a few charts for us in a little bit of detail so that we can see what is going on. First of all, with Ethereum starting to break up, it hasn't, well, according to this, it hasn't quite yet made its high. And I think, well, because we can't really see it, there's no line across there, right? But I'm going to show you in a moment exactly what and where. Right now, it's telling us Ethereum is in the kind of steady heading towards hodl position at this point. Can we go even further up the rainbow curve? Yeah, absolutely, my beautiful friends. Absolutely, my beautiful friends. By the time we get to 2030, 2035, Ethereum could be well up at $50, $60, $70, $80,000, right? But today we're still down at $4,800. Now, with Ethereum breaking out of its position, it technically broke an all-time high yesterday in terms of price action. However, if we take a much closer look, this white line is the previous high of the Ethereum chart. So to be very honest with you, when you actually have a very close squeeze there, we broke it by like $2, a buck, really. So it's not that big a deal, but it broke it nonetheless. It's signaling to us that we do have a potential continuation of the pump to the upside, especially when we got told to buy here. And our stochastic and MACDs are telling us to look at the buys coming up. Would you agree with that? Because once Ethereum gets on its horse, my friends, we're going to see a massive, massive rally here. And as you can see, we've had we'll probably sit down a little bit here with M2. But once we start this rally and we find the support here, we're going to head up in Ethereum. And by the looks of M2, we could expect by 17th of October to be at around 6,000 odd on Ethereum. Pretty darn cool right now where we're at, but that's $1,000 move, right? That's maybe 15, 20% at this point in Ethereum. Giving you some perspective here. Stick with me. Now, as you can see, the altcoin or the crypto bubbles here are going berserk. They all pumped, every single one of them. And yes, we have a little bit of red out on the day today. I mean, you can't not expect red somewhere, right? In the crypto space, especially considering that there's millions of coins. So I would say to you, my friends, look at where we're at here. We have a crazy pump incoming. with the cryptocurrency market cap now bust up very hard above the $4 trillion level. We've had $233 billion in 24-hour trading volume, which is incredibly massive. We have other altcoins pumping here. We'll touch base on some in a short moment. But really, the market cap that we can see here is now stabilizing. And once we do stabilize, we'll consider the next move up, right? Bitcoin sitting at 2.3 trillion. Ethereum now just at about 567 billion, which is massive. XRP is massive at third position with 305 billion. Tether at 167 billion. If we go back, they've probably printed about 40 odd billion, 50 odd billion since we did a video on Tether, but we'll touch base on that. I mean, BNB, 123 billion. I think BNB can go quite easily, and BNB and Solana are kind of competing for the same space. And to be very honest, I use both platforms, but yeah, Solana is a lot more cheap and efficient. That's just the real truth behind it. And then, competitor to those two really is, as I've spoken about on this channel quite a number of times, is Hyperliquid. Now, Hyperliquid's only at a $43 billion market cap. I would expect Hyperliquid to probably end up at around 5 to 6x from where we are. So $250 to $300 price and about $250 to $300 billion in market cap. And I'm saying that because there's so much liquidity going to come into this space right now. And Bitcoin will have to share that liquidity with all of these other altcoins. And that's just how it is. So we have been rotating already from Bitcoin into Ethereum. You can see Bitcoin's kind of remained the same levels at this point, and we've had massive inflows into Ethereum, right? As you can see, Ethereum over the last 30 days is up 33%. So there has been rotation into Ethereum, whereas there hasn't been much rotation into any of the others, right? Other than BNB and Solana, which and staked Ethereum. So it's telling us that so much of the liquidity is now starting to come into your layer ones, your top of the top crypto cream crop. And that's probably the top 20-ish odd, 25, 30 odd. And that is powerful momentum coming into this space. If you agree, make some noise for me down on the video below. Benjamin Cowan predicts rotation from Ethereum highs to Bitcoin. So Benjamin Cowan really reckons after Ethereum puts in new all-time highs, which it somewhat did do today, which I don't think is going to happen right now, then he's probably saying in a couple of weeks' time, we will likely witness a massive rotation back into Bitcoin, from Ethereum into Bitcoin. I'm going to show you why in a short moment. Stick with me. However, the rotation back into BTC will likely be initiated by a BTC correction in September and will continue on a BTC rally in October. When we come and have a look at the ETH BTC chart, we've had a buy signal here. The money is still flowing into ETH. I think Benjamin Cowan was probably talking around this area here where we start to top out a little bit across the board, which pulls us into somewhat of a massive area of resistance, probably within this area here. I would expect us to really punch up into this zone right here. At that point, I would expect a rotation back out into Bitcoin. He's right, I would say. So let's pull this probably up here and then pull back down and then probably break through, pull back, and then something like that. Or we pull up, we sit here, we break out, we pull back at that point, and then make the run up. Probably the latter, to be very honest. But I believe we're about to see an ETH rotation properly for the next 6 months. Okay, at the very, very least. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Here is a perfect example of, thanks Crypto Tony for the chart. This is usually how we see capital liquidity rotate in a crypto market cycle. Pay attention and to the sectors that pump within each category. So first of all, BTC pumps, then ETH pumps, then altcoins pump because of those. Then mid-caps pump because of all of that, right? Then we have a market dump. We have microcaps pump, okay, because people are seeking liquidity from other places and they don't just like sitting around. They want to find and hunt liquidity. Market goes sideways and gets boring again, like we've experienced over the recent couple weeks. Then we have memes pump. The markets absolutely bleed. Scams, anger, fear start to happen. A massive, massive final dump, and then a huge restart back in the cycle. Now, I think this is a very valid chart, and I'm going to show you why with this chart. So phase one is Bitcoin, and usually there's overlapping phases between the phases. Right now, I believe that we're quite heavily into the Ethereum phase at this point, starting slowly to pull into this point where money is flowing into large caps, where we see large buy-ups happening. That has already been happening, as I showed you earlier, but honestly, it hasn't happened like it usually happens. We usually see even large caps get 5 to 20x's in the cycle. So we're about to see something of that nature. Once we have that, the rotation from large caps, Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going absolutely parabolic. We then have the phase overlap where, regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals start having pumps. Now, phase 4, altcoin season, is ballistic, which is somewhat, we're at a phase in between this. I would say we're probably nicely situated around this zone here, okay? Honestly, there are altcoins that are pumping. I did show you some altcoins yesterday that have pumped like crazy. And yes, from 20 to 12 is a 50% dump. But look at the bull flag we're pulling here. Look at the Fibonacci level that we're pulling on this coin. I mean, this is just to give you an example. Bitty on Sol, okay? So now I'm going to make, if I invested one Sol here, and this pumps up to here, I've now got 5 Sol, right? So there's ways to make lots of money, and then you can also take your Sol and trade it against ETH. We're currently having the buy signal on Solana against Ethereum. It is telling us that this long downtrend here, we're about to break up. And once we do break up, there's going to be a massive increase in Solana against Ethereum of about 35%. I possibly see us coming up to the 618 at 62%, maybe at the maximum up here at about 81%. And who knows what happens beyond that. But for now, what I can tell you is that this is a darn good place to stack up on your Solana, not necessarily your Ethereum, even though Ethereum is going up. It's a great place to stack up on your Solana. So some people believe that old money flow goes as per the chart I've just shared with you, but apparently new money flow could be Bitcoin, Solana, Dodge, large cap memes, full meme season. I am not quite on the same page as that, to be very honest with you. And the reason I'm going to say I'm not quite on the same page as that really is because we can see that the rotation has been coming into Ethereum, right? Bitcoin, as we can see here, has been pumping into Ethereum, not into Solana. Solana has not yet had its rally against all of the others. So I would say that, yeah, this has some relevance, but yeah, sure. I agree on Doge. I think Doge could be the massive pump. And then, yeah, I do believe we could have crazy meme coin pumps. I own tons of meme coin bags. And really, the truth is I did share some of that with you here in this video. Make sure to go and watch that video. I'll leave it pinned in the cards above for you. Now, right now, I do agree with Mag Scalping Pro. I do agree that we're somewhere in this zone right now. And I believe we probably have the last, call it, squirt of energy and liquidity into the space. How long it can last, I don't know. My prediction was always at 25th of October 2025. However, I have since then pushed it out a little bit, probably to May odd time at the absolute maximum. Honestly, just DCA, enjoy the ride. We're going to have a nice pullback here at some point. Who knows what happens from there? But all I can say is that Bitcoin is well on its way to $1 million, and nothing's going to stop it. And this is why.
If someone wanted to understand the use case for Bitcoin, and there's many, but they're not too, they don't have a lot of conviction around something, to me, I could say easily it should supplant gold. And so I think Bitcoin should be, over $1 million over time. And then I kind of prescribing to the view that there's probably a chance that maybe the 4-year cycle is ending for Bitcoin because of the way institutional adoption of that thesis is taking place. And so you have institutional and essentially permanent holders of Bitcoin coming in. So it should be good. So I think Bitcoin should really build upon this 120 before the end of the year. So, 200,000, maybe 250.
How interesting and powerful is that video from Tom Lee, where he says the 4-year cycles are now dead and Bitcoin is easily going to $1 million. He certainly believes Ethereum is easily going to $20,000, $16,000. Who knows when that could be, but really, it's happening. It's going to happen faster than you can imagine. And if you want to be part of this journey, then you best be subscribing to the Crypto Bliss community so that you know exactly where to and how to position yourself and how to rotate in and out of these crypto stocks at this point. The last thing that I want to share with you is that I've been seeing some videos on the internet circulating, and I will make this my next video. I think it's quite an interesting video. But according to this person on the internet, I'm not going to share with you who that is right now, but apparently Ethereum could hit $700,000. And yes, I have no doubt they don't mean it could do it tomorrow or in the next 5 years, but maybe in the next 15 to 20 years. Let's give the same horizon time as what we said that Bitcoin may expect to hit 10 million, that Ethereum could hit 700,000 in the same or similar kind of time frame. And at that point, look at how, if you owned one Ethereum today, just by the way, you would literally 148x your Ethereum bag, right? To this crazy amount. Let's be realistic here. The scenario market cap for Ethereum at that point will be about $85 trillion, meaning that it also then surpasses gold. And I'm sure gold's market cap will increase too, but it surpasses gold. It surpasses all other assets in the world, and it sits and it hovers under Bitcoin, which in all honesty, Bitcoin at $1 billion, let's go and have a look at $1 billion Bitcoin. Let's put one Bitcoin and let's give $1 million first, just to give you some perspective. Okay, that's 10 million. So $1 million Bitcoin will take us to a $20 trillion market cap. We've literally got a 10x on Bitcoin from where we are right now to do that. I think it can do it. If we do $10 million on Bitcoin, that's a $200 trillion market cap. And if we did $100 million on Bitcoin, that's a $2 quadrillion market cap. And if we did $1 billion Bitcoin, well, that's a $20 quadrillion market cap. I think because of the way that Bitcoin is and where it's at, it could possibly get that over the next 100 years. I don't know. All I'm saying to you is that we're on a very, very powerful trajectory for Bitcoin. Now let's go and have a look at some of my trades and what happened from yesterday. Because at this point, yes, Ethereum broke out a little bit of, I would say that that's probably its all-time high there. The previous all-time high. No, it was 4880. That's what it was, yeah. Okay, so we broke the all-time high. We're on the way trajectory up. Here's my trades since yesterday. We've pumped up quite a bit on Ethereum. Pepe is recovered, Cardano is now 100%, Algo is 32%, XRP is just recovered, Rune is in a couple percent, Trump is still down, Bitcoin is still kind of hovering, Solana, guys, I might even add way more to my Solana position. So we're going to have a look at Solana. Let's go and see what is happening here on Solana. I think Solana is waiting to break out of its high here. Yep. Look at that. Look at that, right? I want to draw a little box here for us. Okay, boom. Look at that level that we're waiting for now on Solana. Okay, Solana is busy tapping this area here right now. Okay, look at that. I would honestly expect us to start to ride this up, break out, pull back, and then go for the all-time highs on Solana. Probably a lot of resistance up here at 235. I would say that that point we probably break out of here and pull back. So I think Solana's in a very good position to make a strong move to the upside. AVAX pumping, Doge pumping, Injective pumping, Ethereum pumping, Say pumping, Link massively pumping, Ton pumping, Render pumping, Sonic pumping, Illuvium down a little bit. I have an Illuvium trade on my KuCoin account, and Illuvium is, I'm actually about 120% up on that margin trade. Pengu is now up 30%, Virtuals 2%, Prime down, Epic down, bleeding at the moment. So you see, not all trades are always in profit, right? And so, my friends, now that I share that with you, let's go and have a look at two last charts. The first one is the Total 3 ES, which is BTC, which is the altcoins. The altcoins are in a very nice position here to tell us to go to the upside. The same thing here. We've been told to buy our altcoins here against Bitcoin. The one chart that I want you to just recognize here is that this is the market cap of USDT, right? When we started speaking about the market cap, I mean, look how far away I drew my lines, right? I drew it when we were down here at 80 billion. We've more than doubled in the USDT market cap here, okay? So we can see that the USDT market cap is going to continue up, and we could see a 212, 220 billion by 2017, which honestly I think is going to go a lot higher than that. But hey, when I pull this chart, let's pull the M2 supply off. Okay, look at what this thing has done. It's like a large hot on. Boom, pump. Then we had the crash. Then boom, pump. Okay, I think we're pumping so hard into the space right now, and this liquidity is going to start to find other coins. So people will sell the dollars like they did here to buy all of the other coins. Now, the last chart I'm going to share with you, first of all, it's a nice clean Bitcoin chart, right? Look at how we've had this buy, we've had this double bottom like I showed you, and had a nice sideways move here. As you can see here on the M2, we've bottomed out on the liquidity, and we're going to start running back up. Cool. What I want to share with you now is two other indicators. Well, first of all, let's look at the EMA. First of all, let's look at the EMA ribbon, how we pulled back right to the bottom on this ribbon and punched up with our indicators. All indicators are pointing to the upside on Bitcoin right now. And if I remove the M2, I remove the EMA ribbons, and I remove the bots, and I come in here and I add the Pi Cycle Top indicator, I'm going to give you an idea of where we could potentially be going very, very soon, right? Alrighty, so on this indicator, it constantly calls out the highs and the lows. Look how perfectly it called the high over there. And that's when the 50 moving average, let's go and just correct myself. Let's go and have a look at the settings here. Inputs. The short moving average is the 111, which is the green line, and then the long moving average, which is the 350. So the long moving average crosses over the short moving average. That's when the cycle top indicator will tell us that the cycle is done. As you can see, we've got quite a substantial gap here, right? So Bitcoin season ain't anywhere near done. The cycle top ain't anywhere near done. And in all fairness, look at where this cycle indicator top, and it's going to continue to go up as the price goes up, as this starts to pull up. And what we see here is currently the cycle is looking at about $169,000 Bitcoin at this point. My friends, we're not even done. We're nowhere near done. So if you're selling your Bitcoin, if you're selling your Ethereum, like look at this. This is the breakout, the retest, double bounce, double stochastic RSI, MACD, all your EMA ribbons, your buy signals, your estimated moving ribbons even. Okay, we have so much pump expected to come to the upside. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to use my Bybit link down below. Get yourself up to $30,000 deposit bonus. Come and trade with me. We're going to make some killer money here together. All right, you can get yourself up to $30,000 deposit. And make sure you go and check out the last few videos I've been sharing with you on this channel, this community. And please make sure to share this channel with your friends and your family. Help me achieve my goals of hitting 10,000 subscribers before the end of this bull cycle. Thank you.